$20 million, $50 million, $100 million, $4 billion, $1 trillion. I don't know. There's a new name now, and everyone is saying that that's where Elon Musk is heading to. I don't know if it's tripartite or something, some other new name that growing up we never knew about it. Growing up, we never thought about it. Growing up, we did not even know someone can get that wealthy. Another thing that has happened for a very long time is when we were growing up, we thought helping someone was just giving them a hand. We thought helping someone was just going to help them, broke their firewood, carry water for them, give them food, and just do things physically for them. And then we get to America and we realize the people who are making things happen are the people who are actually controlling the budget. 2016, Trump came out from nowhere, did his magic. 2020, they played a game on him. However, 2024, his buddies were like, hey, bro, we got you this time. And we all saw what happened. That's the reason why most of them during his inauguration were at the front line, at the front seat. Whether we like it or not, making money is important. And the good thing with our community is we already know how to not only work hard, but some of us are starting to work smart. Now, how about we add working hard and working smart? We're talking to people who understand how the system works, not just the system in America, the system all over the world. Because guess what? That's where we're heading to. We are not only planning to invest in America, we are planning to invest in Cameroon and places around the world. But then you have to know how to place yourself. That way you're not wasting or you're not giving away your money. Boss, welcome to 30 Minutes, What $1 Million with Charles Njoya. Okay, boss, you supposed for your camera, you switch your camera for your laptop. Just go for your audio settings and switch your camera to your laptop. Yeah, you're good now.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome to 30 Minutes with Charles Njoya.
Thank you, Toride. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's exciting to be here. It's exciting to share, and I'm happy to. I'm really looking forward to be able to exchange with you and also exchange with the community, the public, the audience. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking the other day, like when the day you're going to meet Charles Njoya from CHN Advisors. I imagine how wonderful the conversation, because you're somebody who is passionate about the community. He is somebody who is passionate about the community. I just can't wait to see, let's say a room full of people like you, just talking and discussing not only taxes, not only money, but what we can do to move our community to where we want to see our community. Are you thinking something like that is going to happen anytime soon?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look forward to meeting with all these people. I mean, there's already a lot of communication in the background where we talk with people in our community who can add value. And some of these guys you bring up here, they're amazing. I mean, at times you look at some people, what they do, you just think you are not even in the game yet. Our community has crazy people. Our community has very smart people. And all we're saying is that we have to harness all these intelligence and bring them together for the benefit of our community. Yeah. And that's all what we're looking for. We're looking for a place where, I mean, Toride can be just the springboard, the place where we all come together and we constantly talk about how we can take this needle and move it the next level. That is what we're looking up to. That's what our aim, our vision. That is what we want to see ourselves become, the next community of Jews in America. We can do that, and we will do that.
I like the way you put it. And that is one thing you're big on. Not only learning from others, not only copying from others, but the fact that you're always looking for ways to push and force our community to start running with things. Tax season, I think it's open already.
I think so too. I think tax season is already. I don't know. I mean, it might be this week or next week, but generally we start preparing taxes by the 1st of February. We really get into doing taxes. Now I think the IRS is still opening their systems. For the past couple of weeks, everything was closed down. For the past maybe a month, everything was closed down. They're opening their systems. People can start e-filing. I think towards the last week of January, people can start e-filing. But again, think about this. Most people don't even have all their their tax forms yet. The tax forms are due by the 31st of January. That's why February becomes a crazy time to prepare taxes. And again, it's important for those of us who are, what we do strategy. We help structure people. We are also basically finalizing, making sure that these clients have met all what we said we're going to do for them. And it's exciting. It's exciting when you see yourself, you used to pay maybe 300, 400, half a million, or even $150,000 in taxes. And all of a sudden you are in a place where you're moving towards not paying taxes at all, because you did certain things during the year. And that's what I encourage people. I encourage everyone on this platform. Anybody who thinks tax is a problem. Tax should not be seen as a problem. It's a hurdle, yes, but tax is also an opportunity. Tax is a huge opportunity. If you are paying a lot of money in taxes, then you have an opportunity to convert that investment, that money into investment. Imagine you're paying $50,000 or $100,000 in taxes. And then instead of giving that money to Uncle Sam, you change the trajectory and start giving that money to yourself. Using that money and leveraging OPM, other people's money, to multiply your assets. That could be really exciting. And these are exciting times for people, because people start seeing the real value of what we're doing. People seeing it now when we prepare their taxes. We prepare their taxes. You see how we take advantage of the tax code to make sure you are a strong guy, to make sure you can now invest. And I tell people all the time, if you save on taxes, if you were paying $100,000 in taxes, $500,000 or whatever you were paying in taxes, and we save, that money is saved from giving to Uncle Sam. The only way you can sustain saving that money continuously is if you convert that money and exclusively invest it. You invest it to build more wealth, to have more passive income sources. Wealth is in assets. So when you save on taxes, that's why I tell people that when we are doing strategies for you, I tell my clients this all the time. You don't want to just become comfortable in that place where, oh, I'm not paying taxes, so I'm not going to save. You either put that money, give that money to Uncle Sam to keep, so that when we file the taxes, you get it as a refund. Or number two, you put that money in a high interest savings account, exactly the way you were doing it last time. A high interest, a high yield savings account. You put that money there so that when we finish it, the next year, you take that money and use it in making those strategies, in acquiring those assets, in doing those things, so that you just gotten out of that race where you were giving that money to Uncle Sam. And you are now in that race of building wealth for yourself. And this can only be intentional. If you are not doing that, and you think, okay, you came to our company, we saved you on taxes, and then the next year you don't have the money because you spent it on buying your new things, your things like that, then you've just found yourself in another, in what we call another rat race. Because you need that money. Money that is saved from taxes can only be sustained if you use it exclusively for building wealth for yourself.
Boss, now one of the new ones over here now, external revenue service. What is it all about?
So external revenue service, first of all, what is IRS? IRS is Internal Revenue Service, right? IRS takes care of us. It takes care of Americans. It makes sure that any resident, any U.S. resident, any person who files taxes in the U.S., the IRS is for compliance with respect to the tax code. They are a compliance agency. They collect the money, and then they make sure that people have done what they have to do according to the tax code. That's the role of the IRS. So it's a regulatory, it's an agency that makes sure we comply. The IRS, they collect the money and they make sure people are complying internally. So now we're talking a lot about tariffs. Donald Trump, everything is about tariffs. Yeah, he talks a lot about tariffs. It's about how do we get money from others. getting the money from others. Anything that is out of our circle of the United States, raising tariffs means that people will be paying taxes from abroad. On everything that we import into the United States, will pay something. And the External Revenue Service, their role is to make sure that they are in charge of external revenue. Internal revenue is in the Internal Revenue Service. External revenue is the External Revenue Service. That's the role of the ERS.
ERS.
Yes.
Wow. So is that supposed to mean those of us who have investments, I don't know, maybe we are going to do a show on this because I have a lot of questions. Some persons were writing me, asking me, oh, is this supposed to mean those of us who live in the United States and own properties abroad, is this supposed to mean we're supposed to start paying taxes for those properties also, or how does it work and all of that? Or is it just for goods that are shipped to the United States for businesses?
It is going to, it's a concept that just came out. Remember, concepts are going to be built into actual. They are still concepts. They are still working on it. They're trying to basically structure it in a way that it works. And I think that that's something that has come to stay. I think so personally. I think so because they can, the aim is we are making so much money from Internal Revenue Service. Let's also make money from outside. Now, the thing you have to understand is that most people think that, okay, we're going to pay taxes. Or taxes, remember, the tax code says that you pay taxes on your worldwide income. You pay taxes in America on your worldwide income, meaning that if you are here and you own assets abroad that are generating income for you, the tax code requires you. It is not by voluntary, because I see a lot of people a lot of people will tell you that, oh, I don't want to put those. It is not voluntary. I don't want to put them on my tax. It's not voluntary. It is mandatory that you should report on your worldwide income. It is mandatory. When you don't do it, you're evading. You're evading, which is illegal. So basically what that means is that if you have assets abroad, you have to show it on your returns. Now, the other things, we've said this before, there are many ways of, people only look at assets abroad as being an element where you will pay taxes, because our tax professionals have narrowed our minds to very small things, to the smallest things. Think about owning assets as being a port for you to access capital.
Yeah.
So when you own assets, if half of your income is coming from, let's say from Nigeria, or it's coming from Cameroon, or it's coming from elsewhere, and you are not showing that income that is coming, you are just blocking yourself from accessing more capital. Because the more income, the only way people they don't give money to broke people in the capitalist economy. Even in the socialist economy, they give you living wages. If you want to build wealth, you have to use other people's money. And how do you use other people's money? You have to show your ability to pay. Your ability to pay. The foundational process of showing your ability to pay is your tax return. It is your tax return. So basically, if you want to show your ability, we see a lot of people, they cannot buy the simplest things, even though they can afford everything. They cannot buy it because they cannot show on their tax return that they have the ability to pay.
Yeah.
So you have that big hotel which is laying there in Nigeria or in Cameroon, which is making you millions of naira, millions of CFA. You don't want to show it here because it's going to make you pay taxes. Because somebody told you that it's going to make you pay taxes. First of all, there are rules around international taxes. There are rules around international taxation. When I have a client who has investments out of the country, they are going to be shown on the tax return. They are. Because our goal is not to hold you captive. Our goal is to make you wealthy.
Wow.
And the second thing is that those things that are there, when you show them here, first of all, when you sell them, it is called tax evasion. When you do transactions out of the country and you're keeping them away. There's so many Americans here because people come here, they become Americans, they are naturalized, they have everything. And then they still believe that they are just that Nigerian guy or that Cameroonian guy. You're now like any other American who is here. There's so many Americans who have invested all over the world.
Yeah.
Do you think they don't show that on their tax returns as well? They have to.
So, boss, if I get you correctly, what you're trying to tell us is investment and investment. Investment is investment. It doesn't matter where they are. They can actually help, especially in an organized system like America, help situate you for better opportunities in America.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Wow.
Your tax return has to be heavy. Your tax return has to show that you're making money. Your tax return should not be. Some people have made us to think that we have to look for all sorts of expenses and beat our tax return down to the smallest number. And then that way we are okay because we're not paying taxes. You can show billions of dollars on your tax return and still pay zero in taxes. That's why billionaires are not paying taxes. But they're showing billionaires. You think Donald Trump, whenever you talk to him, if you tell Donald Trump today that Mr. Trump, you are worth $10 billion, he will say, no, I'm worth 20. I'm worth 15. They want to show more. We are trying to show less. Yes. Why are we doing that? Because someone somewhere is teaching us the wrong thing. It's teaching us the wrong thing. Let me tell you something that happened to me. I have a client who just sent me a piece of paper. A client. He wrote to me and said, hey, Mr. Njoya, good morning. I said, good morning. He wrote and then said, no, I've been audited by the IRS. I said, okay. He said, I've been audited by the IRS and they are saying that I should pay them $50,000. I said, okay. He said, they say that I filed as head of household. I have not shown I've not shown the paperwork to justify that I should be head of household. I cannot show information about my kids. I cannot show that my this. This is what we do in our community all the time. The wife goes and files with 2 children. The husband goes and files with 2 children. And then we are all head of household. And we do that continuously. The day you're caught, because that is tax evasion. It's not a mistake. That is evasion. That is fraud.
Wow.
That is fraud. It is not a mistake. Because there's something that you can say, okay, this was a mistake and this is fraud. The only way you can do that is because you are saying that, okay, I'm not living with this wife, even though you're living with the wife, or I'm not living with this husband, even though you are living with that husband in the same house. And then I am the one taking care of these 2 children. And this man is living somewhere, he's taking care of the 2 children. And some CPA or some accountant tells you, do it, and then you are putting your address, both of you are living in the same address, and then you say you are both head of household, any man is taking care. That is fraud. It is fraud. Oh. And now when you get into a situation like this, when they send you one letter, they say, prove it for this year. You know what happens? What happens is that they are going to go back very many years.
To see, yeah.
Yes. Because there is what? The only reason you can go is if you can show that there was reasonable cause. There's reasonable cause to believe that now in the last year, you did the same. And in the year past, you did the same. We see that all the time. No, somebody comes to me and say, oh no, my spouse is doing his own taxes, I'm doing my own. I do it with my kid. And then what is he doing? I don't know. That's fraud. We have to be careful with what we do. And the day you're caught, it goes back history. And then you see people, they cannot smile anymore. The whole thing, your whole life is broken because we have little frauds that we've accumulated over time.
What happens when a letter like that comes to you? Is it just the individual involved that has to pay, has to fight it or battle it with the IRS? Or the IRS can also say, hey, you know what? I know who filed your taxes. We are going after them also. What happens?
Okay, it depends. Let me tell you something. The documentation that we have makes that the person who files the taxes, in many instances, people file taxes with people who don't have any credentials. They don't have any credentials. You start calling him, he's not picking his phone number. You start doing this, he's not even there. That guy is not even a CPA, he's not this, he's just turning around doing his things. So basically, when he knows that you received a letter, you start calling him, his number has changed. You cannot get him. But the other thing is that we have had so many professionals who have been caught because they did illegal things, who have been caught. But the primary responsibility is with you, the taxpayer. The primary, you cannot say, I did not know, you did not know what. The primary responsibility is with you, the taxpayer. So basically, you have to make sure that the information, there's what you call a reception sheet. There's a form that you may be, an onboarding sheet, where you put your information there. That information has to be correct. If they ask you that, are you married? You say, no, I'm not married. Whereas you have a husband, that's a lie. You lied, not the guy.
Wow.
You lied. And if he prepares your taxes, you don't go through it. Most people tell me that, oh, I don't work. I mean, because when we start being stringent and we ask you, give me this information, you know, I don't work with my CPA like that. If you don't work like that, you can go. That's the way we work. If you don't work like that, go back and meet the guy. I mean, when I do an onboarding for a person, there's a process that has to be done. No, I wasn't. The guy who was doing it, I just gave him 2 things and then he did everything. I don't even know what he did, but he just made me, I didn't pay no taxes. Okay, go and work with him. It's okay. Go work with the guy.
Boss, has there ever been a scenario, a tax scenario, a trouble, some wahala that someone brought to you and you looked at it and you were like, oh, Papa God, do you want to? I'm not sure I can handle it. Is it possible? Has there ever been a situation like that? Or you can at least, go ahead.
Yeah, let me tell you something. There's nobody who is a Superman. There's nobody who is a Superman. We work on the basis of the laws. There are some things that you see, you know that this is fraud. All you need to do is to negotiate with the IRS and tell them that it was, you have to negotiate with the IRS. There's negotiation with the IRS.
Okay.
You know that this is fraud and this is an error or an omission or this was wrongly done or things like that. There are 2 things. One is fraud. When you have a fraudulent case, how do you handle the fraudulent case? You have to negotiate it. There are times that you have a situation and then the client comes to you, he says, I want to go to this, let's do this, let's do this. You just tell him, shut up, just shut up. Just shut up. Because you're going to open a can of worms that you cannot carry.
You cannot handle.
You cannot carry. Just shut up. And then now negotiate. If you have to pay, just pay, or you just do something and close it.
Yeah.
Because if you go and start this ABC, you are in deep shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tax things that we do. It's called evasion. There are many people out there in our communities. They come to me. They say, Charles, I really want you guys to help me. This. I say, okay, let's help you. When we start helping them, we start asking the questions, going through the process that we go. They say, no, some people become too busy. If you're too busy, go and meet the guy who's working. Go and work somewhere. There are some people who are too busy to even talk to you because they are too big or they are too this, they are too that. If somebody's like that, okay, go. We are not going to do anything that jeopardizes you or jeopardizes us. Nothing. And we tell you what the rules are. The rule is this. And the only way you win in America is by following the law. That is the only way you win. If you think you are too smart, oh, nah. There are some people in our community, they say, oh, I'll outsmart them. I go to do and so I just do the cut short. I just made this cut way, this cut way, this cut way. Wait them the next round. They are gone. They disappear. That's why we don't go anywhere. We stop here. We stop here. I spend a lot of my time on the tax code. Reading the tax code. When something comes, I want to read it myself, go through it, understand what is in there. Because I am advising people. And I cannot be advising people on the wrong stuff. The wealth of America is in the tax code. Whether you like it, you don't like it, it's in the tax code. There are 3 stages to building wealth. Three stages. Number 1, you have to make money. You have to generate income. So when you come here, your primary goal should be, how do I make money? There are people who come on my platform. When they come there, I ask them 2 questions. The next thing I tell them, you have to go make money. And I start telling them how you can make this to get there. If you don't make money, there is very, very little that you can make, that you can build wealth. If you don't make money, how do you build wealth? Your mindset is the thing that takes you to wealth. Because if you start thinking like a wealthy person, you will be wealthy. It's a mindset. The mindset predisposes you to do the things that will make you wealthy.
Yeah, Hebrews 11:1 say things believe in things you cannot see in.
Absolutely. That's the word, or that's what you call faith.
Yeah, faith.
That's
Believing
faith.
in things, yeah, you cannot see,
Yes.
and then you
Yes.
add action to it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Once you start believing, thinking, your mindset is all coordinated to make you reach those things that you think.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
tell people,
think
if you want to win, win. You have to start by winning here. If you don't win here, you cannot win anywhere.
I remember one time I came to your office and we were having this conversation, and you were telling me, you asked me a simple question. Hey, Sako, so as you become, how many Cameroonians did you see? And I was like, Cameroonians, and then I started thinking about, yeah, I saw some black guys. Were they Cameroonians? I was trying to figure out their
Yes.
dressing.
Yes.
And then you were like, okay. Say, but guess what? If I be asking you about cameras, you will probably tell me because your
Yes.
interest is always on cameras. And
Absolutely.
you said that is the same way wealth works. If you start thinking about being rich, if you start thinking about how you can get rich, it's easy for you to start seeing the opportunities and start creating the opportunities. And then that's how you become wealthy.
Mhm.
Boss, we are 26 minutes.
Let me
Yeah,
tell
go
you
ahead.
something. Let me tell you something. We are too analytic in our
Mm-hmm.
communities. We call it analysis paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
So that analysis paralysis, people come to you. I mean, when you get that paralysis in your analysis, in your analysis, what does that do to you? It means that everything you get, you come to a consultant who knows more than you. You have to analyze more than him. You analyze every penny more than everybody. You don't go anywhere. Analysis
Mm-hmm.
paralysis. We have that in our community. If you tell person, say this is the value of this. Wealth has a price.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, forget it. You will not get there.
Yeah.
Ask all these people who are winning. Ask all these people who are making things happen in our community. They invested to make it happen.
Yeah.
They invested to make it happen. And you don't become a millionaire by sowing $10. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. You have to invest in the process. Ask everybody. All these guys who come here, the Raphaels, all these, ask all of them.
Yeah.
You have to invest to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a change of mindset. Our goal, we've been taught to economize, not to pay, not
Yeah.
to put money in something. In America, if you don't invest in something, you cannot win. Even in Africa today, there's an investment to it. The price you pay is analogous to the amount you're going to get, to how much
Yeah.
winning you're going to win.
Yeah.
If somebody tells you that my service is $10, it tells you what that
But
person
they
is
can.
giving you.
That's true.
Because it tells you how much he's giving you. He's not giving you
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
Value has a price.
Yeah.
Value has a price. And you have to start thinking that way. That if I want to work with this to get to that level, there's a price I have to pay.
Yeah.
Our community, we don't know how to do that.
I remember one time we were having a conversation and you were telling me, you don't know why people for the community are always looking for cheap things, small
Yes.
things, small things, small
Yes.
things. We are always thinking about, I know I make plenty money because I know I pay a lot on taxes. Oh, I know I make plenty money because this girl go ask me plenty child support.
Yes.
Oh, I know I make plenty money because
Yes.
why not just make as crazy as you want to make, and then
Yes.
whatever they're asking you to pay,
Yes.
it's still gonna be considered chicken change.
Yes.
Explains why in our community, like you talk, you charge some person really wants some service, some person really understand value
Yes.
for your service, but then once you start putting the price on your value, they start for just videography, for just pictures, for just
Yes.
taxes,
Exactly.
not knowing you actually give them something way knowledge will accumulate them for more than 20, 26, 30 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the cost of even giving you that value on an annual basis. Let me tell you, Sako, what I spend my time on. When you talk to me, I spend my time talking to you about how I can increase your revenue. It's more important for me than how
Yeah.
do I reduce your cost.
Wow.
It is about doubling, tripling your revenue. It will take care of the costs. And then once you start increasing the revenue, you can come now and start looking at the cost. But the
Yeah.
key is always, how do I make more money than whatever they're asking me for? That's the game. That is the game. Revenue, 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 revenue. How do I multiply my revenue?
Wow.
If you are outsmarting your cost every time you're wealthy, you're wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you should disregard your costs. That's why we do
Yeah.
bookkeeping, and so that you can manage that. But the focus should be on revenue. Growth,
Mm-hmm.
grow your revenue. That's why most people come to me, and their biggest problem is the quality of people they have working for them. They cannot pay the people. If you cannot pay somebody, you want to make $1 million, you don't pay. You are not paying anybody. First of all, you can only make this much. After that, you are done. In our company, we have CPAs, we have attorneys, we have financial advisors, we have a real estate broker, we have all these people. How much do they cost? So when you come to me, no, there's a price attached to it, but you are going to get wealthy. There's a price attached to it, and that price that we have made it so easy because you come to me. I'm telling you that instead, I'm going to get my money from what you're giving to Uncle Sam. That's it. So you don't cry about your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take money from Uncle Sam, and then I'm going to pay myself, and then you have excess money to invest. Because paying me is an investment. If you don't
Yeah.
realize that, then you're lost. When I go out there and I pay coaches, I pay mentors, and then you come to me, you think that I'm free, you're losing it.
Yeah.
You're losing it.
Boss,
Mentorship has a price. Yes.
the last question, we already past time, but I get plenty of questions over my head, especially one day person on me. Now, someone started something more like a side business. You know how we start something, it's a business, was making a little bit of change here and there, and we'll be just to say, okay, you know what, we want to triumph, to see how it work out. But guess what? One turn for back, we already run that same thing for 1 year. In as much as we do that for 1 year, we still do our business where they bring me the 200,000, 300, 500,000. Now, we do for January, for February, we get for start fire taxes, and the person is contemplating if they should go ahead and register the business now and use and for file their taxes the year where they come. I don't know what you feel, what you think. Register and now use on the other year, or is it possible to register it now? I don't even know if they get documentation and all of that. What's be the situation for you?
So let me tell you, there are two things. There's something you call a hobby, and there's
Mm-hmm.
something you call a business. Intent is so important.
Okay.
Intent is so important. A hobby is something that you're just doing. And there are so many hobbies that have turned out to be big businesses.
Wow.
And hobbies that turn out to be businesses, they become amazing because you're doing what you like.
Fun. Yeah, that's true.
It becomes fun doing that. So you have to just see, first of all, the second thing is that you don't need to register a business to register something to call it a business in America. As long as there's a willing buyer and there's a price, there's an exchange of value, there's a business.
Wow.
So somebody is willing to pay and somebody is actually paying for what I'm offering. There's a business. There's a business. So now, if you think that this thing that we started as a joke has become something that is giving me value, and I tell people, don't just start a business and run to register it. Because again, unless you are clear that this is a business, but if you are starting a side gig, just start doing the side gig, and then once it makes money, take money from it to register and do the paperwork out of that business. Don't go create your money. So once you see that that thing is becoming value to us, you can register it. And then you can use it as well as a business. Remember, I tell people who are on W2 always have a side gig. That side gig is going to help you like crazy. Always have a side gig. If you're a high income W2, you come to me. One of the strategies, we look for a place and we make sure you have a side gig, because this country is, whether you like it, you don't like it, it's a business structured country. It's a capitalist structure where businesses will give you a lot of benefits.
Wow.
So if you have something like that, I will tell you, if they are already happy and it's going, let them structure it. It could be, if you think that you're just doing it for charity, make it a charitable organization. It's a charity, and make it a charity. If you're doing it because you want to add value and it's adding value to you, make it a business, an LLC, an Inc. or whatever. Create a business out of it and start using it. Now you have a business that where you are actively working, you can do a lot of strategies with it, even to reduce your ordinary income that's coming from your W2 income.
Boys, we can go on and on and on and on and on.
Yes.
Boss, we can go on and just tell them where to find you. Tell them where to go to if they needed to ask questions. If they had follow-up questions.
If
they
you
had any
have
questions.
If you have follow-up questions, if you go and type my name, Charles Njoya, even on Google, you'll see where I come from. You'll see everything about me. Charles Njoya. You can go to our Facebook. You can go to our Instagram. You can go to our TikTok. TikTok has been going back and forth. That's a big conversation that have been going about it. But whether you like it or you don't like it, TikTok looks like it's going to stay. It's not going anywhere. Donald Trump doesn't want to bin it. And TikTok is a business. All we need to do is to regulate it and make sure it's a huge business. Donald Trump even values it at what? $1 trillion. They said what? $1 trillion. That's what Donald Trump values it for. That it's valued at $1 trillion. And what they want to do now, I have people. They talked about Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. That there are people who are interested. They want to sell it to Americans. Americans will take 50%, and then the other people can own 50%. Because the value of TikTok is mainly in America. Yes. So what I'm saying, TikTok is there, Facebook is there, Instagram is there, YouTube is there, and then you go to www.chnadvisors.com. It's not about me, it's about a community, it's about a group of people, and we are all under CHN Advisors. CHN Advisors is where you go in there and then you book a free discovery call. Come to us. If you're somebody who is making money and you don't know how to structure the money, we are going to help you structure. We are going to show you a roadmap to winning. We are going to show you the roadmap to winning. Yes. We are going to show you the roadmap to winning.
Boss, thank you very much, man. I don't tip small 7 minutes. I'm sorry. It was necessary. We have this conversation again. Thank you very much for your time. Continue to help us. Continue to open our minds. Continue to open our ears. Continue to open our eyes. And people like you will get our community to where we want to see our community, which is financial freedom for almost everyone. Well, I think we'll talk for background small, and then we'll plan for next week Monday. But this segment,
amazing, amazing. And I want to encourage you. Just said something. There are so many incredible people doing incredible things in our community. I see some ladies. I see people we have people like Raphael. We have people like Delphine. We have people like all these guys who are making crazy, crazy stuff, adding value to the community. We can come together and continuously talk on how we can build the community.
We can build.
I mean, I'm not coming here. When I come here, I'm not going to stand here and say, there are guys who are doing crazy stuff. Let's just come and then we talk about how we can change our own value, how we can change our community. Mindset game is number one. I know Gustav talks a lot about mindset, and it's true. Mindset, it is here. It's here. Yes. Let's go out there. Let's win. Guys, go out there. We have all sorts of platforms to win on. You cannot be in this country and not be winning. Let's win.
Boss, thank you very much. We'll talk for background.
Thank you.
Wow, man, this is just wonderful conversation. This is good conversation. This is not just this kind of it's not only available on Turidi. That's the good thing about him. He has spent so much money. For those who don't know, I know how expensive I'll be, but this man, they ready for déplacer me, take me to Houston, take me to places, any day, anytime, especially when I tell you, okay, I feel like we can do it. He has a lot of content, a lot of free content. I say this all the time. I've been in his office for hours upon hours, all shooting videos and hearing him talk and hearing. Sorry, now bad thing, but guess what? If I did for the way they make phone call, I go hear it really talk. So listening to his phone calls and the kind of people he's talking to, the numbers they are calling, how he's helping people save money, how he's helping people invest, how he's helping people in doing different. Like I see that and I'm like, wow. I know how much 30 minutes of his time costs. So when he decides to do what he's doing with us, it's a blessing. That's why I beg people, go and follow all his social media pages. Go and follow him everywhere. Watch these videos and watch the videos. It's preferable for you to go and consume the free content that is there already. So before you meet him, you're already loaded with information. Nothing is bad than when you meet someone like him who understand how system work, but then you don't even have the questions. You don't even have the appropriate questions. You don't even know how to present your case. I'll give you a simple scenario. You understand? Your problem, I say, you want me to help you avoid taxes. And then you go there, instead of you to say, okay, this is actually what I want. You go for there, you instead present a different case. You're making things difficult for him. You probably not get the result you want. But then if we all start following him, watching his videos, and start understanding the basic things about taxes. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and the guy was like, Sako, you know a lot about taxes. Do you file taxes? Were you filing taxes for people at any point? I said, no. Just working with Charles Njoya, shooting his video for the last 4 or 5 years, don't open my brain. He talks about these things every now and then. Even if I don't know how, I will learn now. So I'm encouraging you, encourage your brother, encourage our community to educate themselves. And to educate ourselves, we need to be following, we need to be talking to the right people, to the best persons. The knowledge is already free. Consultation is free. What are you waiting for? When they put a price to eat, a $5,000 tax to eat, before you start looking for money to go pay, bro, let's take advantage of things that are free right now. Take advantage of the fact that he's offering free time, 30 minutes, 2 times a week, every week until every day. Masa, I don't make a vex. We'll talk later.